Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Bob's Live, our weekly show right here on the internet. And well, it's weekly most of the time. You might have noticed there wasn't a Bob's Live last week, and that was because I had an appointment in Columbus and I was on my way back. But anyhow, you can find Bob's Live at all of these locations every Tuesday at 5 p.m. So we're broadcasting on Rumble, Facebook, X, and YouTube. And yeah, I actually have all of those pulled up right now. And combined, we have quite a few viewers. So feel free on any of those to leave a comment, question, anything throughout the show. And I usually try to keep an eye on them and respond to questions and whatnot. So, let's go ahead and jump right into this week's episode. Up first, it is getting into fall. We're into the beginning of September. Fall is right around the corner here at the end of September. And if you live here locally, the last couple mornings, it has felt like fall. I had to crank the heat on the other day to take the chill off in the house. And this morning it was a little chilly too. And then this afternoon, I went out in the greenhouse and pretty much roasted. And speaking of that, let's head there now. So today I headed out to the greenhouse because we have pansies that are now leaving the greenhouse and heading out the door. So let's check that out.
Hi, John Morgan here with Bob's Market and Greenhouses, and today I'm out here in the greenhouse where we have pansies that are starting to bloom. Now, over the last few weeks, I have shared video of our pansies from seedlings to being transplanted all the way up through blooming. And right now, they're making their way to our store locations. And pansies are the perfect fall and springtime plant. You see, you can plant pansies right now. They'll get established. And then during the wintertime, they kind of go dormant. And then in March, they'll start blooming again. So you get to enjoy pansies for 2 seasons if you plant them in the fall. And well, our market locations are now fully stocked for autumn. So head on out for pansies, fall mums, pumpkins, spices, all that kind of good stuff. It is pumpkin spice season, of course. But yeah, head on over to your local Bob's Market for a dose of fall.
And that is a quick look at what's happening out in the greenhouse. And this time of year, it's kind of a transition period for us. So we've got mums and pansies and the fall plants going out the door. We've also got poinsettias kind of right on the tail of that. So here toward October into November, our poinsettias will start developing their color. And this week, let me pull up this. On our podcast, I mentioned poinsettias this week because it's recommended that this coming Saturday on September 14th that you start exposing your poinsettias if you overwintered them. Like if you have one from Christmas and you kept it around as a house plant. You want to start exposing it to at least 14 hours of darkness a day. So you kind of want to shove it in a closet or a dark room And what that does is the darkness triggers it to start changing color. That's a common question that I get uh, around Christmas time at Bob's is I had this poinsettia, I kept it from last year, kind of nursed it through the year. It looks pretty good, but it never changed color. And that's because you probably had it in a bright room and you didn't expose it to enough darkness during the fall months to kind of force it. What you're doing is sort of forcing it ahead of when it would normally change color. So they're day length dependent. As the day lengths get shorter, that's what tells poinsettias to start changing color. The same thing goes for mums. The mums blooming, they are day length dependent also. And there's different varieties of mums. There's early season mums, mid season, and late season. But yeah, that's all dependent on the length of the day. And well, up next, I thought we would take a look at the weather. And right now, yeah, it feels like it's 91 degrees outside, which this morning, it definitely didn't feel 91. And yeah, if we scroll down, unfortunately, the radar is dry. This week, we're back into a cycle of no rain. But let's take a look at the extended forecast, if I can find it here. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, we're looking at not a lot of rain in the forecast over the next couple weeks. Yeah, that's kind of depressing, actually. But that's the extended forecast, and like I always say when I do our podcast, the extended forecast, it gets less accurate the further you go out. So, and this time of year, you got tropical depressions and hurricanes and stuff down in the Gulf of Mexico that hopefully make their way up to us. So hopefully we'll be getting some rain because it is dry. Dry. Oh, so dry. And yeah, speaking of dry, or the lack thereof, the next thing that I wanted to show you is something from all the way back in the summer when I went to cultivate. I've had this video kind of on the back burner, and today, to be honest with you, I kind of had to do some troubleshooting this morning, so I didn't have a lot of time to prepare for our episode tonight. So I went and pulled this video and decided to use it. But back at Cultivate in July, which is a big trade show and conference that we go to, I went over on a trip to the Franklin Park Conservatory. And I thought I would give you a quick behind the scenes tour. Not really behind the scenes because it's all accessible. It is after hours when they do it, but you can go there, visit the Franklin Park Conservatory, and see everything that I'm about to show you. So it's a really great place to visit. I've been there at a few different times throughout the year. Wintertime, like December, they do a beautiful light show and poinsettias everywhere, and it is a really interesting place to visit, like in the middle of the wintertime, especially if you're getting those wintertime blues. But anyhow, I was kind of laughing because the day that I visited Franklin Park Conservatory this year, right as we were getting off of the tour bus, huge thunderstorm hit. So unfortunately, I couldn't go outside this year. And I always kind of plan ahead with going to cultivate because I want to bring back video for you. And I wanted to show off a few areas outdoors that are kind of hidden at the Franklin Park Conservatory. Um, I think you'll do that. So this is the video that I did get. So yeah, let's check it out.
Hi, John Morgan here with Bob's Market and Greenhouses, and this evening I'm at the Franklin Park Conservatory. It's a little bit stormy out, so unfortunately we can't head outside to the gardens, but they have plenty here inside to check out. So let's take a look around.
So that is a quick look at the Franklin Park Conservatory. And, well, right now I am working on the next 3 months of videos. So going October, November, December, because I plan out everything a quarter at a time. And I've got a few things planned. Um, a lot of it revolves around fall, like going out in the woods and doing maybe a project with some fall leaves. I think that might be fun. Also, there's a number of garden tasks that you can do this time of year in the fall to get your garden both ready for winter and also kind of give you a jump start on next spring. And then also, it's been so long since we've been down to my house working on gardening projects. They've kind of piled up, but I need to revisit my wildflower garden. And fall, heading into wintertime, is actually a great time to get out and do work in it and do things like planting seeds and bulbs and stuff like that to get it ready for next year. So let me literally lift the veil here. And yeah, my camera is kind of off, so let me slightly rotate the camera there. Yeah, this is how I plan out the next 3 months. So I've got the good old WVU garden extension garden calendar, which is very helpful for our area. But then I also just print out a big blank calendar. I start off with post-it notes, and then once I sort of lock things in, I'll write them into the calendar and then move them into my planning software that I use. So this is where you come in. I want to know what you guys want to learn about this fall. So down in the comments down below, or tweets or Rumble rants. Is that what it's called on Rumble? Um, yeah, I watch stuff on Rumble. I'm pointing to where I've got them on my screen here, but um, but yeah, whatever platform you're watching on, leave me a comment or shoot me an email to askask@bobsmarket.com. If you have a gardening question or anything like that, and that helps me plan out the next few months. And I really like it when I can have folks submit their ideas and their questions, and then that makes its way onto our blog and in videos like here. I think that just makes it a lot more a two-way street instead of just me yapping into a microphone. And well, done a lot of yapping today. So until next time, keep growing.